Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're all okay and you've had a good week. We've had quite a good week over here, me and my guys. We've had a busy week as always. But first of all, I know some of you are on my Instagram. If you haven't found me on Instagram, it's just mysticlovetarot. The snow leopard one. So we now have a little snow leopard. We've got our certificate. You have to print it out and then the real one comes in the post with our little teddy bear to go with Polly. So when the teddy bear comes, we have to think of a name for our little our snow leopard, and I'll give you the updates as we go along. But the snow leopard is one. The monthly donations are set up. So we've got a polar bear and a snow leopard. I know it's really hard because you want to pick like every single one. I know it's tough, but you know, we do monthly donations and things like that on top, so it's cool. It's cool. Right, so we are. I've gone back to some of my old decks. I love these two decks. This one is my favourite, personal favourite, and this one I do love equally, but this one's my favourite. Okay. So we're going to do, as promised, what are they feeling about you? So this is deck number 1 and this is deck number 2. Pick your deck. We only need 2 decks to work with because it works on the strongest mutual energy between you all. My guide is saying for this one, can you go from where your heart chakra is, so in between like your chest, that heart energy, can you go from where that is pulling you towards whichever deck you want, number 1 and number 2. And think about your person as well and just see if that pull is strong. Like I said in the last deck, if you feel that you're being pulled between the 2 decks, it's probably worth listening to both, because one deck could be you, one deck could be your person, or there's going to be mutual energy from both of them. You're kind of pushed into both decks. So, okay, let's go. So, can we get into deck number 1, please? Let's get into your energies. Deck number 1. Got a really hippie song. I'm in a 60s mood today. I love my hippie era, and I just got, if you're going to San Francisco, but I think that is personal, unless there is someone that can take that message. If you're going to San Francisco, you're saying, oh, we all live in San Francisco. Okay, think about your person. Can we get into their thoughts, feelings, energy, emotions, and thought processes? So it'll work on the strongest mutual energy between you all, regardless of situations. We work with energy, me and my guides. We work with the energy of you all. Okay. So let's do, what are they feeling about you? Can you tell me, what are they feeling? A lot of you know that I'm a psychic medium rather than just a tarot reader. So how I work is the cards are kind of my tool. I'm clairaudient and I'm clairvoyant. So I hear and see spirit. Those are my 2 strongest. I'm clair everything really, but clairaudient is my strongest. And it's also the rarest one, apparently. All week I've been getting different languages coming through my right ear, and I've had to be on Google Translate. What are they feeling about you? What are they feeling? What is their person feeling about them? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 10. Go with 1 more. Cool. Okay, your person, what are they feeling about you? At the moment, I know again, like I said, situations are kind of, you're all in very, very different situations. But your person as a whole is feeling quite low about the situation. There's been a certain frequency, a certain vibration that has happened in the last week, which has made them kind of plummet their energy down. You've been kind of, you as a whole have been a little bit roller coastery, up and down, back and forward, not really sure what you're doing. Whereas your person's energy has kind of hit a bit of a slum, and they're feeling a bit sad and a bit low and a bit fed up and a bit miserable about the situation, and they aren't quite sure how to progress with it. But their feelings of it, the reason why they're feeling that sad is because there is this kind of overwhelming heart pull towards you. So you've got the 4 of Cups over here, feeling this like fed up. They can see you in the background. They can see that you're trying to make offerings towards them, but at the moment they're just trying to, they've got their head in their hands trying to figure out what it is that they actually want from the situation. They know how they feel about you, but the fears of what their heart is saying and what their head is saying are 2 separate things. So, you know, I said we break up their thoughts and we break up their feelings. So your feeling, your heart their heart energy is very directed towards you, but their head is throwing in all these kind of irrational fears. A lot of them are irrational fears, Spirit is saying. Some of them will be legitimate fears, but a lot of it is irrational. And you guys are echoing those fears onto one another. So you'll be thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. And they're thinking, well, you know, if we get together, I'm not going to be good enough. You're thinking, oh, I want it all now. They're thinking, if I give it all now, it's not going to work. And it's that kind of echoing energy. Those are just examples, but that is kind of what is happening between the two of you. There is a lot of fear, more from their side, but you are echoing that energy, and you are fed up with the situation as well, because you're feeling the same. You've got these heart-centered feelings. You want everything right here, right now, and it feels like you're kind of pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling, and you're not getting a response from it, and that is bothering you. You're both clinging on to the situation, Spirit saying. Both of you have got hopes that this is going to move forward, but it's a bit like chasing a cat at the moment, because there's work with cats in this deck. It's a bit like kind of chasing the cat, a dog chasing a cat at the moment. You know, you see it and you run and you woof and you go rah, 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 and the cat kind of goes, oh my god, panic, and runs off. And then later on the cat kind of comes back out and has a look around and sees the dog and, you know, hides away and is peeking at what the dog is doing. That is you and your person. As a whole, I've never, well, it's rare that I liken people to dogs and cats, but that is what Spirit are saying. You are feeling better within yourself. You're feeling more stable, more secure, more in this kind of Queen of Swords energy. Remember, never sexually orientated or gender specific. You're feeling very strong in your energy. You're having these ups and downs, but as a whole, you've kind of relaxed with the situation a bit. You're still thinking about it quite a lot. Some of you it is over-ticking, but the relaxation of your body is kind of easing into that energy, and through that relaxation, that means that you can then manifest the situation moving forward, which is what a lot of you are doing, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. My guides are saying, can you just remember to tell the universe what you want, not what you don't want. If you are a third party and they are with someone else, don't feed it. Try not to think about what they're doing, who they're with, where it's going. Are they holding hands? Are they having tea together? No, less of that, because what you'll do is you'll manifest that happening. Not all of your third parties, you know, those of you know who the third party is, you know that. So that kind of energy is coming forward. So tell the universe what you want and what you don't want. Destroy and create any of these kind of negative thoughts that are building up. If you're starting to gather negative momentum, like we all do, rather than the positive momentum, what I mean by that is positive momentum. Oh, they've texted me. Oh, they like me. Oh, we're going to meet up. Everything's great. Everything's perfect. Negative momentum. They haven't texted me. Why haven't they texted me? What are they doing? What are they up to? What's happening? Are they with anyone else? Blah, 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 blah. You need to make sure that negative momentum is being broken. Probably easiest thing to do is either shut your eyes, put some meditation music on, break it by going to sleep, or calling your friends, doing something that you enjoy. You need to put it in like part of a high vibration formula. Get that vibration up high. Also, remember, when you manifest, you cannot manifest if you're on a lower frequency. It just won't happen. So raise your frequency, do stuff you enjoy, and then manifest. If you need your manifest plans doing, drop me an email. We've got a really good success rate. They've been doing really, really well. So let me know. Okay? What else your person is feeling? We've gone off on a tangent. My guide has just called it a tangent. So there's a bit of conflicting energy. This, again, is kind of following the head and the heart. They're trying to focus. They know that there's a few blocks in their way. Again, these are all head blocks rather than heart blocks. Their heart is literally pulling them towards you, and their soul is pulling them toward you. Yeah, pulling them towards you, or you towards them. They can feel that energy pull, and that energy pull is quite intense and it's quite high vibe, and they don't quite understand it because a lot of your people are less spiritually tapped in, tuned in and turned on. Okay, so that's kind of happening as well, that soul pull, and then they're having a bit of a wobble about it, going, oh my god, what's actually happening? They're standing on a cusp of things moving forward with you. They can see what direction they want to go down. They can see that this is going to be magnificent and phenomenal when it does happen, but at the moment they've just got to get ready to take those steps, and those tiny fears that we spoke about at the start, the irrational fears, is kind of what's blocking it. So they're fed up with the situation, they've got these irrational fears, you guys are doing okay, you're doing your manifesting, and there's these kind of blocks that are just stopping them from moving it forward a little bit, but they know that this is what the path and direction they want to go down. They can see as well that there are two ways that this could go. So they know that they want to come towards you. One side you have a beautiful tower, we all know what the tower means, and on the other side, I don't know if you guys can see, there is like a castle. Okay, so your person standing there knowing that it could go either way, it could either fall apart or be built into the direction they want it to, and they're just kind of standing there with the map in front of them, trying to listen to their intuition, trying to be guided in which direction they need to go down, but just kind of pressing halt so they don't have to make any choices. That includes if they aren't texting you, that includes if you're not hearing from them, even though that's the same thing, that includes if they're hot and cold with you. They're just trying to work it all out. Your people are processors as a whole. Remember, it works with collective energy. As a whole, your people step away from situations to process it, and then they come back when they feel the time is right. And whilst they're in processing mode, you can't connect with them, you can't communicate with them. So it's kind of like hitting, you know, they're there with their thoughts and their feelings, and you're trying to talk to them and you're not getting any response. What happens is once they come out of processing mode, that is when they can get that communication going towards you. For those of you that aren't in contact, and even if you are in contact, that's why they're blowing hot and cold with you. What else? So yeah, they can see that they've got this happy family unit, 10 of cups. They can see that they want to be with you. They can see that there is romance in the clouds. They are just being a little bit frightened. Again, we're kind of going back to the claw. We've spoke about this a few times, when my hand is just a hand and then on the wall it looks like it's going to eat you. They've kind of got these fears going on. They can see that there are new beginnings on the horizon, but these fears of the new beginnings, fears of commitment, fears of abandonment, fears of what if I fall in love and my heart gets hurt, yada, 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 fill in the gap for your individual circumstances. But again, they can see that the path is going to be best if it is towards you. They just don't know how to take those first steps. Overall outcomes of how they're feeling with your heart centre, how they're feeling towards you. You've got the 6 of Wands for victory, and you've got the Chariot. So it's going to take a little bit of time. They are standing on that, which direction do I go? The yin and yang, light and dark, good and bad, duality, everything, reason why we are here. They are going through these kind of lessons at the moment. They can see that the sun is about to rise in a new direction, and they are getting ready to take that stance. You as their little sidekick in the little boat next, it's not a boat, what are they called? Side things of the motorbike. Next to them, as their super sexy cool sidekick, you are there next to them. They've just got to get ready to take the next steps, rev the engine and go, and that will happen when time, as it progresses naturally. Is there anything you can do to speed up the process? Manifest. Again, tell the universe what you want, not what you don't want. Focus on what is for your highest good, Spirit is saying. Focus on what makes you happy, and then, you know, let it all align. Write a list of what you want, not what you don't want, all that kind of stuff. Watch the manifesting video, there's loads of tips and tricks in that. And then shout me if you need me for the plans. But it's looking really positive as a whole for your individual circumstances. So I'll just recap, okay? Feeling a little bit fed up at this point in time. Fears are kind of getting in the way, but both clinging on to the situation. Where do we go from here? You're feeling more stable, you're kind of manifesting consciously or subconsciously what you actually want. These manifestations are starting to work. There is still an energy of conflict over their head and their heart, and they're standing on this cusp of which direction they need to go down. They're going to go left to the tower, or right, yeah, that is left to the tower, or right to the castle. They will pick the castle. Once they start revving their engine and these fears start hiding away, they're going to go towards the castle. They're going to see the hand as a hand, not a claw. The new beginnings in the background. Step towards new beginnings. Be on that cusp. Rev the engine. You're next to them. Sidekick and go. Victory. So their feelings are really, really strong for you. They've got a lot of heart-centered energy. They love you. There is a soul pull towards you. There is strong energy between the two of you. The spiritual connection with this kind of is what brings the love within this deck, the whole of you. Guys, the spiritual connection is what is making this love so intense, and you're feeling it and they're feeling it and you're echoing each other. Make sure that you try and release fears, meditations on releasing fear, write a list of fears and burn it, you know, anything like that, or I don't know, whatever beliefs you have, you know, that's all, it's all down to you. But maybe have a Google if you're into Wiccan or if you're into spiritual stuff. There's different ways. Me, I'm a spiritual girl. I write down my list. I still use the moon energies. I still use natural energies and things like that. Sometimes I put oils on it, you know, it's variant really. And I put a list under my bed of what I want. All of that kind of stuff. Have a Google. You'll get what you feel drawn to. Listen to what your intuition is saying and be guided by that. And that is step number 1. Okay, let me have a sip of coffee. My massive unicorn mug, which is like the size of my head. Okay, let's do deck 2. What are we on? 1527. God, I've been talking for ages. I've got a bit of a cold, I have. Okay, let's go. Can you get me into my collective energy of deck number 2? So you know how this goes, you know how the story goes by now. Works on the strongest mutual energy between you all. Go into your energy, go into your person's energy, and it pulls out the strongest mutual energy. Right, think about your person. Can we get into their thoughts, feelings, energy, emotions, and thought processes? Okay, I've just had I know it's always hard when there's it's a mutual energy reading. I know it's hard when it's a collective rather than a personal reading, but I've just had a really strong clairvoyant image of one of you lot with blonde hair. You're very beautiful, a bit like a Barbie doll looking. Go to the gym, you know, your hair's kind of down here, it's a bit puffy, like thicker hair, and you've just put a picture of you in your gym kit on one of your social media things. Whatever it is, your person is watching you, and be prepared for that kind of communication to come through that. That was really clear. Sorry that's not for all of you, but I have to tell you what I get when I get it. Why sometimes you say, you speak too fast. Those of you that say that, thank you to the lady that said, press the little 3 dots in the corner. There's subtitles and there's a slow down thing. Slow me down. Okay, what is their person feeling about them? It's a good start. What is their person feeling about them? I've got that Taylor Swift, King of My Heart going on. And all at once. That's a good song. Could be Queen as well if you are the feminine. Remember, it works with never gender specific or sexually orientated. Remember that. What are they feeling about them? We'll do 10 for you as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Right. Where are we going here? So again, remember, it works on mutual energy, not specific situations. Your person, a lot of you, this is kind of more echoing a lot of the third parties. If your person's with someone else, or if you're with someone else, or whatever equivalent, even if you aren't specific third party and you are worrying that they are with someone else, this is the kind of deck for you. Now, it's not all of you, but there is quite a few of you in this deck that 2 third party cards have kind of come into play. It feels at the moment that you've been giving and giving and giving and giving, and you haven't been receiving what you want from them. Now, there has been an imbalance, Spirit is saying, in your energies. Like, there has been like that, the giving, and they're taking, and you're not getting much back from them. Now, that's not really anything to do with how they feel, it's circumstantial, I am hearing. So regardless of the third party, regardless of what's going on in your individual circumstances, whether you are, whether you're not, that is the energy that's coming forward, is that it's been a lot of giving, a lot of taking, and not really much being reciprocated to you. So there's been a little bit of an imbalance in those energies, which is has then made you question how they feel about you. Some of your people have kind of come through with a very, very strong sexual energy, and you've started thinking, well, is this just sex? Is this just this? What's actually going on? Do they actually like me? So it's kind of been quite a mixed match of energy of what's actually happening, and you've been trying to put on into your own thoughts what they are feeling about you without actually communicating that to them, because they haven't been telling you, they haven't been forthright with how they are feeling about the situation. So bless you, you guys have been adding 2 and 2 and been making 30 rather than 4. Okay, your person, what they kind of do is they aren't very good about talking about their emotions. There are specific reasons for that. They are very emotional people, but they are scared that if they express, see all the blue on this card, sorry, the other cards with the ones I was saying, you see all the blue on the card. Blue's for communication, it's your heart chakra. They do want to no, it's not, it's your throat chakra. They do want to communicate with you about how they are feeling about you, but they aren't quite sure how. And you can see on this card, there's like a little bee or a wasp, let's go with a wasp, at the top. Your King of Cups, he's holding his cup towards you with his blue for communication, wanting to say how they feel about you, but this little wasp bee thing is feels like if they say how they're feeling, they're going to get stung. It's kind of put your hand in the fire, get burnt. They're scared of that kind of feeling. A lot of it is because it's happened before, and they've expressed how they felt very vulnerable, expressed what was going on in their feelings, and they ended up getting hurt. Majority of you, that is. So what they've kind of done is you're trying to tell them how you feel, or they know how you feel, but you're telling them, you're giving to try and say, oh, how are you feeling? Tell me how you feel back. And you've kind of been hit with a bit of a brick wall. That's you as a kind of whole. Whether you're in your communication or not, this is a build up towards it. Okay, remember, strongest mutual energy between you all. And that left you feeling like you're like, oh my God, what are they doing? What's happening? How are they feeling? What am I meant to do here? Am I meant to grow? You're kind of sitting down, and you've got these 3 swords going towards you. You're feeling this pain in the heart, in your heart energy. Again, they are trying to communicate with you, but they're not doing a very good job of how they are expressing themselves. And again, if they're not in contact and you're like, oh my God, they're not communicating with me, Ali, what are you talking about? They want to communicate with you, but they just can't quite think of the words that they want to say. So they're trying to make a bit of an offering to you once they make their mind up about it. So you've got, say this is you, sorry guys, I know you won't, majority of you don't look like this, but you've got these 3 swords kind of going towards your heart, wanting to communicate with them with the blue. They're standing there with their blue, with the 2 swords between them, 2 of swords, indecision, not making a choice, but getting ready to kind of offer you this sword. And you're thinking, well, if they offer me this sword, that's just going to end up hurting. There's peacock feathers in this. If you have a peacock feather in your house, please remove it, because it is very, very, very bad luck, okay? You're feeling like this is a bit of a bad luck kind of situation going on, and they're just not quite sure how to communicate. And you're adding 2 and 2, making 30, and they're just thinking, oh, I need to tell them how I feel, but I don't know how. I don't know how to move this situation forward because I've been stung by wasps before. If that makes sense to you. Feeling a little bit stabbed in the back. They have been felt as if they have been stabbed in the back before, and they're scared of that happening again. As we all do, we all get a little bit panicky, don't we, when we've been hurt in the past and you want to start again and you're like, oh my God, how do I do it? That kind of energy. So what happens is your person has gone into retreat mode to think things through. They are being guided by spirit. I am hearing really clearly. They are being protected by spirit as well, and they are working it through in their own time. So they will come towards you, and they will be able to tell you how they are feeling when they feel ready. So don't push them. No amount of pressurizing them, saying how much you feel about them is going to change that at this moment in time, okay? They are retreating from the situation. They're trying to work it through. They're acting a little bit immature, yes, but they're trying to feel more stable within their emotions before they tell you how they are feeling, and before they want to make 100% sure that this is going to be right if they do tell you how they feel, because they don't want to feel vulnerable. A lot of your people are very strong minded, you know, and vulnerability is not really a word that goes with them. They have been vulnerable in the past. A lot of you will know quite a lot of their stories about how vulnerable they have been, but at this moment in time, they don't want to be feeling vulnerable with the person that they have feelings for, because they don't want you to see them as weak. So they do have a lot of heart-centered energy towards you. They just don't want to appear as weak. So a lot of them withdraw. A lot of them don't talk to you. A lot of them will give you a little bit here, a little bit there. A lot of them will show you with actions, not words, how they are feeling, because they just are scared that you will see them in this vulnerable light. But on the other side of things, that's good to know that they feel vulnerable around you, because when you feel that kind of sense of vulnerability, being strong-minded and having vulnerability is one of the most beautiful arts in the world. You know, it's to be strong and still have your heart open, even though you're scared. It's a beautiful thing, you know. I always find that about love is we go through so much hell and back for people that we fall in love with. And then, you know, you cry, when you go through a breakup, you cry, you hit your pillow, you've had enough, you can't cope. But then when you start to heal and you start to feel better, you're ready to do it all again with someone new, you know? And it's beautiful that your person has been through this vulnerability. They've been through a lot. They're feeling vulnerable, but they still have heart-centered energy. It's just going to take them a bit longer to express that for you. Okay, so you just need to be an allowance of that, an allowance of what's happened to them, an allowance of who they are. Remember, they will always be this person. You know, they will get more comfortable around you as time progresses, and they will find it easier, but you really need to pay attention to their actions, not their words, because their actions will show you how they feel rather than tell you how they feel. Once that happens though, we're moving things forward. So they will make you an offer, they will come towards you, you will feel better. You're kind of keeping house at the moment in the background, you're waiting there, seeing if they're going to move forward. Never wait for anyone, keep moving forward with your own life, try not to be a standstiller. You know, people always say runners, chasers. I find a lot of the chasers are actually standstillers. Try not to be standstiller. I'm not saying move on and be with other people if that you don't feel that's right. You know, I'm not saying that at all. But focus on what you want to do with your life. Do you want to go travelling? Do you want to work? What type of jobs do you want to do? Even if you're getting your nails done, your hair done, sorry lads, whatever equivalent is going on, you know, focus on that kind of energy to move it forward. That energy, focus on yourself will then reflect their self-love, and they will come to you surrendering their love towards you and telling you how they feel. Okay, so it's beautiful. It's just going to take it's just a little bit more 2 steps forward, 1 step back. By summer, this looks like it's going to be moving forward in a positive direction for the majority of you. Remember that there's no such thing as time in the higher dimensions. That's how psychics work, because we can tap into the past, present and future, because there's no such thing as time. And time of earthly limit is fluid, okay? So it can change a little bit, but this would suggest summer, autumn time. That's why all the readings are timeless. However, if you're watching this in August and thinking nothing's happened, then, you know, it will come when the time is right. It looks like it's seasonal, and with this card as well, this is a seasonal card. Christmas is kind of being highlighted here, so it's going to be for those of you watching as this video is being recording, you're looking for around spring, summertime, with allowance that time is fluid. With those of you that are watching it later on in the year, you kind of got Christmas being flagged up, okay? Either or, it doesn't specifically matter because timing is fluid, but Spirit are throwing those out towards you. You've got the Sun, happy outcomes. Again, looks like it's going to be moving towards a really beautiful future. It's going to take it's taking chapters, it's jigsaw pieces kind of falling together. You've got one side of the jigsaw, they've got the other, and you keep putting your pieces together, and that can move the situation forward. There is a lot of heart-centered energy here, there is a lot of love here, but there's also an equal amount of vulnerability, and that vulnerability is making them frightened. But that vulnerability is also a key indicator of how they feel about you. Because if they feel vulnerable, they feel weak, they feel like you do this thing to them that makes them feel vulnerable, then that shows how much they do really love you. So it's beautiful, really. Just take your time with it, chill with it, it'll be good. Okay? And that's step number 2. So if you want to book a private reading, email mysticlovetarot@gmail.com. If you want to find me on Instagram, that is just mysticlovetarot. If you want to think of snow leopard names before our little the new animal comes, the new teddy bear, let me know, and we will find a snow leopard name for our baby. that we're looking after. All right, guys, sending loads of love to you all. God bless. Lots of love. Bye.